What's up, guys? This is Nash. I'm going to walk you through how to set up your first caravan. If you've never done it before, it's a little bit of a process. It's going to start right here in the front of town, though, every time at the Caravan Master. It's just for the sake of doing this. I'm going to go ahead and show you the entire steps to get through this. Whoops. So when you come up to this guy, you want to tell him I want to manage my caravans, which you can see one of my caravans here. But for the sake of this video, we're going to go ahead and purchase a new one. And it costs 10 silver to purchase a new caravan. So you're going to pay that. And now you can see I have two caravans, which my first basic one is there. And this is what you're going to see when your caravan pops up. You probably won't see this obsidian stallion, which is a beast of burden of mine. That's here. So you're going to need parts to upgrade your caravan because your cargo storage starts out like this. It's only 3 slots. If we switch back over to see this other caravan that I have, you can see I have a lot more space. There's 12 slots total there. Cargo works in a odd way, and we'll go over to the commodity vendor in just a minute so I can show you how that works out. But if you can keep this pattern in mind, and also let's switch back over to the other caravan so you can see that pattern one more time, just the 3. So your basic starter caravan doesn't give you a ton of space. This is where upgrading your carriage and your chassis make a huge difference. So if we go back over here, you can see I have a Weeping Willow caravan carriage, and you can see the capacity changed the height to 2, and then the chassis changes the width to 6. So that is what gives you that added space that you need. And then you also have what's called a Beast of Burden. The Runic Steed is a really good one, which you can see here. The move speed is 82. And this wolf, which was the best that I could get at the time, was 71. So definitely want to try and get a T2 Beast of Burden because you're going to be extremely slow compared to other caravans. So let's switch back over here to the second caravan, and I'm going to go ahead and drag in my new Beast of Burden, well, if it will let me. Okay, here we go. You right click it instead of drag it, and it tells you that once you equip it, it's going to destroy the horse Beast of Burden that's already on the caravan. And this becomes the new Beast of Burden for this caravan for the entirety of its life, unless you get something upgraded and put it in its place. You cannot take this back off. So once you make this choice, it is final every time. So hit confirm. Well, I guess we're bugged out. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, I guess we get to see that bug in real time, which is unfortunate. But normally you would be able to right click this, it would transfer over and land right here on this horse Beast of Burden and replace it. The same thing, it goes for your carriage and your chassis and your wheels and armor. Since we're here in Winstead, we can take you to the lumber station and show you what that looks like and where you can get that. So if you run up here to the crafting station, and right here at the carpentry vendor, you can right click him. And then you can see the different types of caravans that you can buy. Which, let's see, scroll down. The Weeping Willow carriage is 2 gold, 19 silver. Call it 2 gold, 20 silver. And then the Weeping Willow chassis is also 2 gold, 20 silver. So you need roughly 5 gold to make that first initial investment into your caravan. It is perfectly fine not to buy all of these upgrades at the beginning. Run the basic caravan because that will net you enough to, if we can turn it in, it should net you enough to buy all the upgrades that you need for your caravan, or pretty close. It may take 2 runs, but we will, oops, I'm sorry. We'll go up here to the commodity vendor. It's going to be right here, halfway up the hill. It's going towards the top. It's on the left. We'll come inside of here, and your commodity vendor is here. So once we look at this, you can see the patterns. So on your basic caravan, you're going to be able to buy 1 green and 1 common, or in 1 uncommon crate. And that is only going to take around 2 glowing glint, maybe a little less, to get that first caravan going for you. And then once you upgrade your caravan, you can of course slot in some of these bigger items. So my caravan, for example, I can take 1 epic crate and 1 rare crate, and that's the 6 slots. So you got the 4 across and 2 tall, and then the 2x2 here that goes inside. You don't necessarily have to buy the epic crate. You could buy 3 of the rares or 2 of the heroics and fill your crate, or fill your caravan however you wish to do that. I haven't looked to see which way is the optimal way, glint versus reward, when you get to the other side. It is a complete risk versus reward system, and the further you go, the more reward you get. If you start out in the desert and go all the way to the tropics, that nets you somewhere around 20 to 25 gold. If you were to take an epic crate and a rare crate, for example, that's one of the runs that we've done before. If you go just from town to town, it doesn't net nearly that much, but it is always more profitable to run a caravan than sell your glint. You should always save your glint and save up for these caravans and do them with a group. So I'm not going to buy this here, but if you wanted to, you would right click and you can see how it adds up the glint, and it's going to cost 1 glowing, 1 bright, 7 dim, and it looks like 1 dull to buy these 2 crates. And that will vary from town to town as well, slightly. So we'll pretend that we purchased those. Once you purchase them, they send them to your cargo storage. Just for the sake of example, I'll go ahead and buy 1 here so we can see what that looks like. I'll just buy 1 of the cheap ones because I'm not sure where we're going to be running from later. So once you buy your commodities, they go into your storage. They do not go directly to your backspace. And we're going to run back down here to the vendor. Or the caravan master, I'm sorry. Once we get here, tell them you want to manage your caravans. Let's see if that bug fixed itself. It did not. Okay, so now we're on our second caravan, and we're going to go to cargo storage, and we can see that there. And then we're going to slide this over, and you can see that common commodity that we bought from the commodity vendor up at halfway up the hill. So this comes into your storage, and you can drag and drop this into your caravan. And let's say you had 3 of them, you would slot them in here, or you would drag your green commodity and fill in these last 2 spaces. And then you would hit launch. Once you're ready to launch, it's not going to pop the caravan up. It's actually going to give you an item. It's going to tell you it costs 10 silver to launch, which right now I don't have 10 silver on this character, but we could get that. Let's do that really quick. Gonna break my own rule of selling glint. Never like to do that, but sometimes you have to. All right. So now that we're back, we're going to tell him that we'd like to manage our caravans. We're going to go ahead and pretend that our beasts of burden and everything here is set up the way it should be. I think this is just a matter of a relog. For whatever reason, the system isn't liking the way this is trying to pull from the inventory and place it on the caravan. So relogs typically help with those type of issues. If it doesn't, I'm not sure how to fix it. This is the first time I've had that happen. So we'll just check cargo storage. It still shows that one common crate, and we're going to hit launch. We're going to agree to this 10 silver, and it's going to tell you to find a suitable location nearby to launch your caravan. If you look in your inventory, you should have something that looks like this. It says caravan common, which I drag it down here to my toolbar, and has the one beside it. So if you right click that, you'll see this pylon, and then I'd never recommend launching it right next to town. These things are extremely slow, and you'll see at a boundary out here that looks like a caravan that's marked in blue. So you might as well run out and get as far away from town as you can. Like these gentlemen are over here that are getting ready to launch their caravans. That's what it looks like when you get ready to launch, and you can see the progress as it's going through. And then once you get too far, it will actually show you that you went a little bit beyond the boundary, and it'll not allow you to drop this anymore. Like those guys stopped way back there. We literally could have ran all the way out here. And this also works on the north side of town too. You do not have to launch right here on the roadway. I would recommend actually going out and getting off of the main beaten path, but still make sure you don't put yourself in a bind like up on this hill to where you have to navigate back off of it, or make sure you're not going to be getting hit by any of those spawns like the wolves right there, for example. So say we were to run over here and launch. Anywhere in here you can launch and click this down. I'm not going to set it down right now because I don't want to run this caravan, but that's basically how you would go about setting this up. All right, we're going to pick this back up. We went ahead and dropped this caravan. I just want you to see what it looks like when you're coming into a town. There's a circle radius around each town, and it's a little bit different for each. So we're going to go ahead and throw this caravan up. It's about halfway through its summon process. So just like in the when we were looking at before, just right click, throw the beacon down, and then it's going to tick up in its progress, and we'll see a caravan pop up here in just a moment. All right, I'm going to approach the caravan, and you can see the yellow line there. We're going to go ahead and cross that boundary and act like we're headed out. I want to go ahead and show you some of the other tools as well on the caravan. So right here you have a convert to raft, and then convert to ground, unstuck caravan, and then collect cargo. And the main tools you need. There is also a speed boost that I am not sure how to use just yet. I haven't seen the items that you need. But when you're approaching a town, we'll pretend that we just took a long journey. You'll see this yellow beacon around the town, just like you've seen before. And we'll roll back towards that. You do not necessarily have to make it all the way to the caravan turn-in. You normally just have to make it across this beacon here and a little closer to town, and you'll see it start to count down, and just like that, caravan arriving, and then it will drop you out and the caravan will disappear. So we'll pretend that we've made it all the way to the town that we are going to go to. I'm going to run back to the city. You'll also see this if you're coming along with a caravan and you intend to be a defender of it, go ahead and hit this defend so it flags you for PvP. If somebody comes up and says that they're going to attack, they'll automatically turn red for you, and then you can actually fight them instead of waiting until the last second. And you never should have to flag for PvP protecting a caravan. So we're going to click that I'd like to manage my caravan. We're going to go to the second one again, and then you'll see that we still have that item in our cargo storage, but to be able to sell it, you have to take this out of the wagon for whatever town that you're in, or caravan for whatever town you get to, and drag it back to your inventory. And then we have to go up to the commodities vendor to sell it. So you have to make sure you pull it out of the caravan first. Then we'll run up the hill. Talk to the commodities vendor. Click cargo, and then if you hover over it, it'll tell you what the sell price is. Right now it says 3 silver for this. I'm not sure what well, you can see it took 3 dim glint, and that's basically the same trade-off as selling the dim glint directly to a regular vendor in the same town. This increases the further you go away from any given town. So to sell that, all you would do is right click it, and then it'll ask you if you want to sell it to the vendor, and then you would reply yes and sell it. The same thing for all of these, they all work exactly the same. So just wanted you to see what to do when you get to the other side to turn in. It's a couple steps, it's not necessarily intuitive. So alrighty, again, if you have any questions, hit me in Discord. I can walk you through any parts that you don't understand if I didn't explain it clearly in the video, and I will see you in game. See ya.